Here's what happened this week in North Carolina politics. Once again, nothing is happening at our state legislature this week. All of our lawmakers are on vacation. You vacation all of August too, right? One person who is not on vacation this week is Republican State Representative Sarah Stevens, who represents Surry and Wilkes counties in the state house. Sarah Stevens is busy fundraising because she is running to challenge Democratic Justice Anita Earls for a seat next year on our state Supreme Court. Sarah Stevens was discovered taking illegal campaign contributions from special interest lobbyists back in June. Stevens argued that she should be allowed to keep the money anyway, but then the story got into the press and she was forced this week to give it up. If you ask me, not a good look from somebody who wants to be a judge. Voters in Mecklenburg will officially get to decide this November whether to increase their county sales tax by 1 cent to pay for transit upgrades. This has been a big drama down in Mecklenburg for months, and the whole argument basically comes down to what Mecklenburg County will be allowed to use the tax revenue for between light rail and roads and buses and other stuff. And a key point here is that Mecklenburg County cannot just do whatever it wants. Only our state legislature can give Mecklenburg County the legal authority to ask voters for a tax increase, and then they get to tell Mecklenburg County also what they can spend that revenue on. A big wrinkle here is that Republicans run our state legislature, and they hate Mecklenburg County because Mecklenburg County is full of Democrats. Almost all of Mecklenburg state lawmakers are Democrats, which means that they had little or no influence on what the legislature approved. But guess who did? Now here's the crazy part. Tricia Cotham was the primary sponsor of this bill. They let her lead it through the legislature, and she eliminated an extension to Matthews in her own bill, which is in her own district. She kicked her own constituents out of her own transit bill. Just remember, folks, you can never trust a Cotham. Charlotte and everything around Charlotte is booming right now, and the big concern is that if they don't make big investments in public transit like rail right now, then the traffic is only going to get worse. So Mecklenburg County sort of had to take whatever deal they could get, even if it wasn't a perfect one. By the way, it turns out that North Carolina loves its trains. We found out this week that more people are riding passenger rail through North Carolina than ever before. NC by Rail is the intercity passenger rail service between Raleigh and Charlotte. It's the heaviest transportation corridor in the entire state through all the densest population centers, which makes it a great fit for rail. Since 2022, they've seen a 40% jump in ridership, and in 2024, they've transported 720,000 people. They're also seeing huge increases in passengers at all the stops in between. Salisbury, Kannapolis, Burlington. You guys love riding the rails. There's been double-digit increases in ridership all along the line. Personally, I'd love to see a train line connecting out east to Rocky Mount and Greenville, or obviously down to Fayetteville or Wilmington as well. But those kinds of projects require federal assistance, and right now the federal government has other priorities. Enjoy the last week or two of your summer, hit a pool, and have a great weekend.